What's up, guys? We're gonna start today's video with getting everything taken off the CRV that we need to start the rear-wheel drive conversion. So we're gonna try to get the rear diff out and the axles, the knuckles, and I believe the lower control arm on both sides. And we're gonna try to do it before the snow comes. It's parked outside because I've been parting it out and I didn't want it stuck in the garage. So we're working in minus 14, I think it is right now, minus 14 degree weather with about 5 to 10 centimeters is what they're saying coming in our way. So try to be quick getting it done. I'm not gonna videotape much of that part. I'll pull it all off, and then once it's in and on the floor, I'll kind of go over what we're gonna do and how we're gonna tackle it. But until then, all right guys, fast forward a couple hours and everything is off the CRV that we're gonna need to do the all-wheel drive conversion. I ended up just taking the whole rear end out, even the things that we didn't need, just because it was easier than taking the bolts off under there. Now I can reach in behind with my impact guns and get the harder to get bolts in a more comfortable and warmer climate. I don't think we need the upper control arms, and I'm not using the springs from the CRV. I'll be using all that from the Civic. Everything else is pretty much swapped right on. The rear sway bar, I don't think is usable on that as well. I haven't looked too far into that. I wasn't too worried about it. I am not gonna run ABS on this. Just from what I've read, it's just easier to delete it now and not have the headache with wiring and stuff later. I know there are tutorials on how to run with ABS, but half the stuff I drive right now doesn't have ABS, so it's of no use to me. I cut the brake cables for the e-brake because we are going to use the stock ones from the Civic because it is a drum setup. Apparently they bolt right into the drum e-brakes. But from here, we're gonna get the Civic up in the air and start taking the rear end apart and cleaning up the new CRV parts before we put them in. And I gotta get some new rotors and probably do the calipers at the same time. Get all that stuff ordered up so it'll look all nice and new when we get it in there. Kind of quick in a lot of my videos. I don't like to waste people's time. I like to edit with a lot of fast forwarding and some music and just get, done with what I have to do. But I figured I'd take a moment to prove to everybody that things don't always go as smoothly as they look in some of my videos. Trying to take the rear strut tower out, or the rear struts out, and got all of the nuts out on the other side, driver's side. But this one on the passenger side, I've just continued to round out and out and out, and looks like water is sat in there. So what we're gonna do, old 12mm socket. This was originally a 14mm nut, but I've ground it down pretty much to a 12 slips halfway down. So we're gonna pound this on, weld as much as we possibly can around it, come back when it's cool, hopefully just take that thing right out. All right guys, quick tech tip. Save you guys the frustration. If you guys decide you're gonna all-wheel drive swap, or even if you're just taking out the stock struts to replace, if you get a rounded nut or a strip nut, take the extra 5 minutes, and literally it's 5 minutes, to remove the C panels so you can get a straight angle on the rear nuts that hold the strut in. Otherwise, you have to use a ratchet, or you can use probably a right angle impact if you can sneak it in underneath the top of the tower. But even then, it tends to get on a bit of a slight angle. That's what started rounding the nuts in the first place. I wish I would have taken the extra time, just taking the C panels off right away. They're literally 3 10mm bolts on the seat post to take the back of the seating off, and then it's literally 1 pin per side and just a couple clips that you literally pull out, and then 1 14mm bolt on the back side. You just take it out. You can then pull the bar up just enough to clear the C panel to pull it out and out of the way, and then literally just toss them to the side. All right guys, I think that's where I'm gonna cut this video. We'll just make this a basic what you need to take out of the Civic. We'll go over next video exactly what we're gonna use from the CRV and what we can toss from the Civic. I have a bunch of new parts on order, so I'm not gonna bother cleaning up the CRV parts. We'll just toss it all in so we can get the alignment done for the rear diff to make the bracket so it'll get up there, we can get the axles in, and then get this thing back down and rolling. And we'll separate everything into small videos so that way it's kind of easier to watch and it's not, 30 minutes of video on 100 different things. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and let's keep this project going. I'll catch you guys next time.